Head basketball coach is named.
Plus, Troy Athletics talks business. Stay tuned. Troy TrojanVision Nightly News starts now.
From the high-definition digital production center on the Troy campus, with news from Troy University locations around the world, this is Troy TrojanVision Nightly News.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision Nightly News for March 26, 2013. I'm Judson Garner.
And I'm Christina Cook. Thank you for joining us this evening. Well, less than a month after Don Maestry's retirement, Troy University's men's basketball has a new head coach. Troy University Athletic Director John Hartwell announced this morning that Phil Cunningham will be the new head coach of men's basketball. Last year, Cunningham served as assistant coach to the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. Prior to his stint at WKU, Cunningham served as assistant coach at Mississippi State for 12 years. Cunningham says he is proud to be a part of the Trojan family.
It's a tremendous honor and a privilege for me to be named the new head men's basketball coach here at Troy University. And as I look out at this arena, it's unbelievable, and the detail that went into this and how nice this place is. And this just shows the kind of commitment there is to athletics, and in particular men's basketball and women's basketball here at Troy.
Cunningham replaces Don Maestry, who retired earlier this month after 31 seasons of coaching the Trojans. We'll have more on this morning's announcement later in sports.
Trojan fans get the chance to hear from coaches all the time through the media, but they may never get the chance to ask the coaches a question themselves. But last night, they got that chance.
But, sometimes we have to do things that are not fun in this business, especially when you sit in the head coach's position.
When the fun and games are over, it's all business for Troy University's athletic department. Monday night in the Trojan Center Theater, a town hall-style discussion was brought to the public by the Sports Management Club.
We had 4 speakers from the athletic department come and speak to a crowd of Trojan fans. At the end, the Trojan fans were then able to ask questions to these speakers.
The slogan last year was New Era. What is your slogan going into the upcoming season?
Great question.
Some of the topics discussed by coaches Larry Blakeney and Chanda Rigby were the state of their teams, facilities, and the Sun Belt Conference.
Troy University faculty members discussed the success of Troy's athletic department can not only be measured in state-of-the-art facilities or winning championships, but the growth of Troy University's brand.
Is the lifeblood of the athletic department.
Troy University's partner in multimedia marketing, licensing, and branding management is IMG.
You see advertising, you hear us on the radio, you see our logo associated with a brand. That all works through IMG.
Williamson talked about the development of the international brand, Troy Trojans.
And Troy University's brand is not just limited to apparel, from pins to pom-poms. If you're willing to buy it, they'll sell it.
We're a seamless front. We are a separate organization, but athletics and IMG work together. And when we go out in the public, we represent Troy Athletics, we represent the university, and we represent IMG.
The Sports Management Club said their Chalk Talk was a success, and they hope to hold similar events in the future. Well, Christina, while Tiger Woods was picking up his 3rd victory of the season yesterday, one Troy University class hit the links to benefit charity.
That's right, Justin. And as Justin McNeely tells us, the class hit a hole-in-one for the Miracle League.
The Children's Miracle League is one stroke closer to breaking ground on a local facility after the Troy University event management class held its annual golf tournament on Monday.
This golf tournament, put on by the Kinesiology, Health, and Physical Education program at Troy University, is just one more effort that shows Troy University does want to reach out to the community and make a difference in bringing this project to a reality.
The class of about 50 students put on the charitable event as part of an ongoing class project to help learn the ins and outs of the sport management world, and one student experienced the difficulty it entailed.
Setting it up, that was a headache many a days and many a nights. From just starting, the plans rolling, from ideas to getting it set up and just going through and acquiring everything that's on the needs list and basically building the tournament. It was our baby. We built it from top to bottom. It was a lot of work. I never would have thought that there was this much planning going into an event like this.
Students raise money by obtaining sponsorships and gathering the teams together to make the tournament successful. And one Trojan coach found it a great way to get involved and give back.
Most of the tournaments or the golfing that I do is similar to that, so when the revenues go into such a worthy cause, it always makes it worthwhile.
At the end of the tournament, the class was able to raise $1,250 to donate to the Miracle League. Justin McNelly, Troy, TrojanVision News.
The event management class will hold 2 more events this semester. Their annual Children's Health Field Day will be Monday, April 1st at 5 o'clock p.m. and the Nick Costy's 5K will take place on Saturday, April 6th at 9 o'clock a.m.
And now taking a look at news from around the state. In Birmingham, a large cabinet housing flight information monitors that toppled and killed a 10-year-old boy inside a newly renovated airport terminal wasn't inspected by the city after installation. That's according to a lawyer for the city. The monitors were installed in a $201 million upgrade.
And in Phoenix City, the Lee County coroner has identified a man who died after a struggle with sheriff's deputies and police in the Phoenix City area as 25-year-old Carrie Neville Eldridge of Columbus, Georgia. The sheriff has asked the Alabama Bureau of Investigation to look into the death.
And in Daphne, police say a 21-year-old man has been charged with disorderly conduct after a child ate an Adderall pill hidden in an Easter egg. Authorities say a 21-year-old Jarrett Helm was arrested after a 6-year-old ate medication he said was accidentally placed inside the egg.
Still to come on TrojanVision Nightly News, the baseball team will be in action at home tonight against Auburn Tigers. Justin McNelly will give you a look at the game coming up in sports.
But first, the Supreme Court heard arguments today in the first 2 cases involving the rights of same-sex couples to marry. We'll have that story and more after the break.
I'm Danielle Nottingham at the Supreme Court. Coming up, will the justices pass on making a landmark same-sex marriage ruling?
Up, college is hard. Down, those books are heavy.
My sport is football, but my passion is education.
Right up here.
So every year I take promising high schoolers on a college tour
Lights there, darks there.
to show them that higher education means a brighter future. My name is Nnamdi Asamoah. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Find out how you can live united for education. Give, advocate, volunteer. Go to liveunited.org.
Do you wear this?
Our Troy program is one of the largest in Troy University. So whether students take classes in Tennessee or in South Korea or Japan or Vietnam, there is no difference in quality.
Get your degree on your terms with eTroy online degree programs. Flexible, accredited, respected across the globe. Troy University. It's all you need to know.
My name is Dr. Lee, Troy University College of Education, and I choose Troy.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, you're watching the award-winning TrojanVision Nightly News.
And now for a look at what's happening across the nation and around the world, we'll go to Christina Cook at the Global News Desk. Christina.
The Supreme Court heard arguments Tuesday in the first of 2 cases involving the rights of same-sex marriage to marry. Today, the justices listened to a challenge to California's Proposition 8 law, a law that voters in the state approved banning same-sex marriage. Danielle Nottingham is at the Supreme Court with the story.
Demonstrators supporting same-sex marriage and those against it converged on the Supreme Court Tuesday. Inside, the justices weighed the constitutionality of California's Proposition 8, a voter-approved measure banning same-sex marriage in that state. The 2 California couples challenging the ban and their attorneys heard cheers when they left the court.
It's one of the major, maybe the major, final civil rights battle that we're fighting in this country.
We look forward to a day when Proposition 8 is finally and officially eliminated and equality is restored to the state of California.
But during 80 minutes of arguments, the justices hinted they won't use this case to deliver a landmark decision on whether same-sex couples have a right to marry. The liberal justices seemed to reject the argument from the attorney defending Proposition 8. He said the state's interests are harmed if same-sex couples are allowed to marry because they can't naturally have children. Justice Kagan pointed out the state allows older opposite-sex couples to marry.
I can just assure you, if both the woman and the man are over the age of 55, there are not a lot of children coming out of that marriage.
After the arguments, attorney Charles Cooper insisted Proposition 8 is constitutional.
The place for the decision to be made regarding redefining marriage is with the people, not with the courts.
The court will hear a second same-sex marriage case Wednesday. Danielle Nottingham, CBS News, the Supreme Court.
5 Afghanistan police officers are dead following a suicide bomb attack at the police station in eastern Afghanistan. The attack happened while Secretary of State John Kerry is in the country visiting Afghanistan's President Ahmad Karzai. William Matrix has the latest from London.
Police say an insurgent driving a car loaded with explosives detonated his vehicle in front of the Jalalabad police station. 7 other attackers then stormed the compound. 5 police officers were killed and 10 people injured. A Taliban spokesman claimed responsibility for the attack, which came during John Kerry's first visit to the country as Secretary of State. Kerry met with Afghan President Hamid Karzai following weeks of heightened tension. Recent reports have claimed Karzai feels the US and the Taliban are working together to keep Afghanistan weak.
I never used the word collusion between the Taliban and the US, and those were not my words, those were the views picked up by the media.
Kerry is visiting Afghanistan to discuss the American exit next year. US troops at Afghanistan's Bagram airfield started dismantling and packing up equipment Monday. They also handed over the Bagram jail to Afghan authorities. The vast prison complex, sometimes compared to the prison in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, has been a source of friction between the two governments.
The United States, as of today, we don't have prisoners. Whatever is occurring here is under the control of the Afghan people, and the United States will cooperate with the government of Afghanistan. How are you? What's your name?
But not everyone wants the Americans to leave. These Afghan businesswomen met with Kerry and say they fear they will lose their rights again. Willem Marks for CBS News, London.
Italy's top court has ordered Amanda Knox to face a retrial for the murder of a British exchange student. Knox calls the decision painful. Anna Matranga has the story from Milan.
Amanda Knox could be back in an Italian court to face the same murder charge for a third time. Italy's highest court has ordered the 25-year-old to face a retrial for the death of British exchange student Meredith Kircher. The court did not reveal what the new issues are. Knox was acquitted of the murder in 2011 after serving 4 years in prison.
She was very sad. She thought that this nightmare was over.
In a statement, Knox said that no matter what happens, she and her family will hold their heads high in the face of wrongful accusations.
We went through all this before. We are strong enough. We are going to fight again. She's ready to fight.
The Italian legal system has tried Knox and her then-boyfriend Raffaele Sollecito twice for the murder of Kircher. Both verdicts, first guilty, then innocent, have been overturned. Kircher was found dead in 2007 with more than 40 wounds in the Perugia apartment she shared with Knox. Her sister issued a statement saying, "There are still questions that are unanswered, and we are all looking to find out the truth." Italian law cannot force Knox to attend the new trial. Knox, now a student at the University of Washington, has not said whether she will return. Anna Matranga, CBS News, Milan.
And that wraps things up from the Global News Desk. To see more stories from across the country and around the world, you can tune into Trojan Vision Global News right here after the nightly news. Now, back to you, Judson.
Thanks, Christina. Now, Justin McNally joins us for a look at sports. So, Justin, some historic news today in the world of Trojan athletics.
That's right. The Trojan men's basketball team has their first new head coach in over a quarter of a century. So, let's just get right into it and meet the new head coach.
All right.
For the first time in over 30 years, there will be a new face of men's basketball at Troy University. Danielle Percival gives us a further look into head coach Phil Cunningham.
Tuesday, Trojan Arena became home to the new head men's basketball coach, Phil Cunningham. This will be his first time as a head coach at the Division I level, but he's not new to the game. Cunningham is a 23-year coaching veteran and says Troy was just the opportunity he was waiting for.
When you're an assistant coach and you're moving up the ladder and you're always thinking about the opportunity to be a head coach, Troy was always in the back of my mind because I'm sort of a small town guy and grew up that way, and I love the weather in the South and all those things, but it always struck in my mind about Sartain Hall and how tough a place it was to play.
His background is, interestingly enough, similar to his predecessor, Don Maestri. Cunningham was an assistant coach at Mississippi State for 12 seasons, where Maestri also served in that position. And more than that, the two are already friends.
He called me this morning. I can't tell you how much it meant for him to pick up the phone and call me, and it was so welcoming in his in what he had to say to me. And I will consider him a mentor. I want to sit down and talk to him about how he thinks it's best to be successful at Troy. So I feel honored to be following Coach Maestri.
Cunningham isn't exactly stepping into unfamiliar territory. He was an assistant in Western Kentucky last season and already has Sunbelt experience.
I was prepared for a job such as Troy this time last year, but think about it a year later, fast forward to today, and I'm even more prepared. But I think this year in the Sunbelt has allowed me to have even much better feel in terms of, okay, how do we need to recruit to be successful?
It's not just about bringing in a new coach, though. It's about having the team buy into the system. And from Cunningham's first meeting with the players, it doesn't seem like there will be an issue with the transition.
The first thing he said, he had a couple rules, and the first thing he talked about was discipline. I'm really happy about that he said discipline, just to keep me on the right path.
He was real fired up, real excited, and I think that's what the program needs, someone to come in, kind of spark a little life into it.
So all that's left is to light him up. Danielle Percival, Troy, Trojan Vision Sports.
One of Cunningham's first tasks will be assembling a coaching staff, but he already has one member on board. Assistant coach Ben Fletcher will remain with the program. And the Trojan baseball team has won 4 of its last 5 games, and this hot streak could not have come at a better time as the Trojans play host to Auburn Tigers tonight at Riddle Pace Field. The Tigers were 13-3 on March 12th, and since then have lost 6 of their last 8 games. This game against the Trojans is just their 5th road game for the Auburn Tigers this season. The Tigers are just 1-3 on the road, while the Trojans are 11-4 at home this year. Last year, Auburn came to Riddle Pace Field and handed the Trojans a 7-0 loss, but the previous year, Troy sent Auburn packing with a 14-6 win. Something has got to give tonight, the only matchup this season between the Tigers and the Trojans. First pitch is set for 6 o'clock, but if history tells us anything, past games between the Auburn and Troy have averaged about 2,500 fans, so make sure you arrive early. And for a team that has played 25 games in 2 months, not playing softball is going to feel weird. The Troy softball team will have this weekend off and will return to action on April 2nd in a 2-game doubleheader versus the Southern Miss Golden Eagles. Troy was scheduled to play the Auburn Tigers tomorrow, but that game has been rescheduled and moved to next Wednesday, April 10th. The schedule change was due to temperatures forecast below freezing, dipping to 31 degrees. The Trojans were scheduled to play Florida A&M on April 10th, but that game has now been moved to next season. And much like the charity golf story we had for you earlier in the newscast, the Troy golf team was suffering from wet weather and windy conditions while in Stockbridge, Georgia for the John Kirk Panther Intercollegiate. Troy finished up the day at 8th overall. Troy opened up the first round in 5th place and dropped down to 8th at 79 overall. Tournament leader Old Dominion shot 45 over on 36 holes. Trojan Sophia Bjorkman shot 78 in the first round and sat tied for 5th, but fell to a tie for 26 at the conclusion of the day 1 after 12 over par. The final round of the tournament will wrap up today, and we will have full details of this event tomorrow night. So Judson, Christina, big day for Trojan Athletics out there. We wish Coach Cunningham the best of luck. Maybe we can get 30 years out of him like we did from Coach Maestri.
Yeah, and at this point, not a lot of Trojans are familiar with this coach, so, all we can do is hope for the best.
I just wish him the best of luck, and the basketball team the best of luck, too.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. All right, well, thanks a lot, Justin.
New beginnings. Thanks so much, Justin. Still to come on Trojan Vision Nightly News, we find out how students may get a chance to meet their new boss.
But first, compared to yesterday, today felt a little bit more like spring, but we're not there yet. Are we going to get there this week, Rachel?
Well, Judson, there could be some relief, but you're going to have to be a little patient. I'll have your forecast coming up.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Yo, check out this chef, right? Right? That's so gay. That's really gay. Dude, look at those pants.
Please don't say that.
What?
Don't say that something is gay when you mean that something is dumb or stupid. It's insulting. It's like if I thought this pepper shaker was stupid and I said, man, this pepper shaker is so 16-year-old boy with a cheesy mustache. Just saying. When you say that's so gay, do you realize what you say? Knock it off.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, you're watching the award-winning TrojanVision Nightly News.
And now Rachel Scarborough joins us for a look at weather.
So, Rachel, we've been experiencing a major drop in temperatures, especially when it comes in around this time in the evening. It seems like we're getting in the 30s and the 20s. What can we expect for the rest of the week?
Well, the rest of the week we'll be seeing sunshine, but we will still be seeing those cooler temperatures, and then in the weekend it'll start gradually warming up. I'll get into that more in a few minutes. First, let's take a look at our live campus snapshot as we see outside on Big Graves Quad. Beautiful day outside. There are a few students walking around the quad, but as we take a look at our current conditions, we see skies are mostly cloudy. Temperatures are 49 degrees. Dew point is 23 degrees. Humidity is at 37%. Barometers at 30.24 inches and steady. Winds coming from the northwest at 14 miles per hour. Taking a look at today's statistics, we saw a high of 50 degrees, a low of 32. No rain today. Sun rose at 6:40 a.m. and it should set at 7 p.m. Taking a look at temperatures from around the state, as we see around the state, we're seeing between low 40s and even to 56 here in Mobile. But as we take a look at temperatures around the state, we see Huntsville sitting at 40, Birmingham 42, Montgomery and Phoenix City at 47, Troy at 49, and Dothan at 53. Taking a look at current conditions across the southeast, we are seeing cool temperatures in Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia, and in Tennessee. But as we go into Florida, we see about 70 degrees, as well as Texas and Corpus Christi and Brownsville. Taking a look at temperatures across the nation, we see cool temperatures across the northeast and into the west. But as we look into the southern portions of California and New Mexico, they are seeing temperatures up to 82 degrees, seeing a little bit warmer than they usually are this time of year. Taking a look at our current surface map, nothing much in the southeast, a little snow in Tennessee and Kentucky. But as we go in closer look at our area, still nothing, a few isobars, which light winds here and there. And as we go into precipitation forecast, we see Alabama and Georgia, Florida are clear. We look back to the west, we see a little bit of rain for the next 48 hours, but nothing will be affecting us. As we go into Wednesday's forecast, Alabama is clear, but as we look off to the west, a few windy conditions, nothing to worry about here. As we go into Thursday's forecast, rain starts to form, not really concerning us at the moment. As we go into Friday, that rain is in Arkansas area. It could be coming our way. Saturday, it does push into Mississippi and parts of Alabama. So maybe Sunday we may see a little rain. Just don't know at the moment. But as we look at tonight's forecast, we see partly cloudy skies, a cool night, light winds coming from the north-northwest at 5 to 15 miles per hour with a low 29. So if you are going out to that baseball game tonight, bundle up because it will be chilly. As we go into tomorrow's forecast, mostly sunny skies, light and variable winds coming again from the northwest about 5 to 10 miles per hour with a high of 59. So those temperatures again will be cool. But as we take a look at our 4-day forecast, we see Wednesday's high will be 59, Thursday 63, Friday is 67, Saturday is 70 degrees. Cool nights overall in the 30s. So, Christina, Judson, the week we will still be experiencing those cooler temperatures, but toward the weekend, those 70s will be coming back into the forecast. So maybe for Easter weekend, a beautiful weekend.
Yeah,
Okay,
it looks like it will be so far. Thanks a lot, Rachel.